record joints gonna be right.
We got Crack Lenz, Umar, today's guest, BJ, Burch. You got anything to say before we start?
Nah, man. We just gonna jump right into it, man. You know what I mean? Tell the audience, a little bit about yourself, where you from.
Alright, you said my name BJ Burch, from Pleasantville, born and raised, right across the bridge. That's good?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can, go ahead, you can do it.
Alright, go again?
Yeah. Tell us where you from, man.
Alright, BJ Burch, I'm from Pleasantville, New Jersey, right across the bridge, born and raised, educated.
Okay. You play sports and stuff, from Pleasantville?
Absolutely, played sports all my life. That's what kept us out of trouble. Played all the sports. My main sport was football. Played some basketball, played baseball. 12 months a year, we was always playing something.
Yeah. Same here when I was young, man. We was just out.
Absolutely. We had to.
Ball, whatever.
We ain't had these phones, electronic, so we had to stay active.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all always thought you was from the city. I don't know why.
It's one community. It don't make
Yeah.
But a lot of those, probably a lot of people I'm around, a lot of friendships came through sports.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys I hang with and friends with today, I consider brothers. We met on the field first as adversaries, and the respect was gained through that.
Okay.
Cool.
How did you get into the fashion or wanting to do this? What was your ideas to yourself to start off everything? Was it something you seen, or was it just a feeling like I gotta do this?
Well, it really is just this is something that's it is a passion. It's something I had a passion since I was younger.
Right.
So one of my hobbies outside of sports when I was young, I used to draw freehand a little bit. So got into at one point, drawing on the clothes. And I ain't graduate to the airbrush, but we used to do the permanent markers and things like that. So I was doing those things, playing with it, Then I became a teenager. I kind of put the drawing to the side, stayed with the sports, and later on in life, I always been in the clothes, always been in the sneakers. I got friendships that lifelong friendships. Dudes right now, I was on the phone with my brother, one of my brothers before I came in here. It's my sneaker guy. Like, me and him, we beat down on sneakers, but we've been doing this since the 8th grade. And we met over some sneakers, Then I got another brother. We always, I've always been into fashion, played around with the freehand, drawing on the clothes and things like that. Then as I got older, and really I was in after sports, after college, I was coaching. Coached for 13 years. So then,
where did you coach at for 13 years?
So you want go back a little bit?
Let's backtrack.
Let's back. So we're gonna get into that. So let's backtrack. So you want to go through the sports, the whole sports thing?
Yeah, your education.
All right. So we backtrack from the sports. Like, I think that is the foundation. Some part of my foundation. So sports, playing all, like I said, all the sports all my life. Football was my main sport, so I played the Jokers all through. Played for Pleasantville High School 4 years. Then I was able to, fortunate enough, got a scholarship. I went to Howard University. I played football there for 4 years. So after I graduated college, decided to come home, and one of my guys was the head coach at the time, got me into coaching. And my thing with the coaching and the teaching was just being able to have an impact on people that look like me, come from the same streets as me, same blocks as me, and letting them know there's something outside of here. Ain't no wrong with coming back, if but there is something else outside of here if you want to see something else. And sports was, one of the vehicles that took me to some places down in DC and meet some good brothers and people down there and expand my network. So I coached at Pleasantville High. I was assistant coach for 5 years. Then my guy left, went back to his hometown in Lakewood. Then I became the head coach at Pleasantville High School. I was a head coach for 8 years. And then it was 2010, my last year, I stepped away from coaching. So at whatever age I was at that time, since 7 years old, I was involved in football every year, every summer, going.
So how was your transition from football to...
I'm about to get into the transition. So 2010, I stepped back from coaching. So this is my first time since 7 years old that I'm not involved with sports. From playing, from Joker, 7 years old, high school, college,
Right.
coaching. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's if you do the numbers, 7
30
years old,
years or so.
probably, yeah, about 30 years. About 30 years, you did the math, about 30 years straight. 30 summers straight. And so then that was 2010, so 2011 summer was the first summer I ain't have no obligations as far as sports, whether it's coaching, playing, working out, things like that. So now I'm just getting, then I got back to the roots of the creativity.
Right.
So I'm sitting, it was like, it was July, end of July, August. I say around August 1st, 2011, I can remember like it was yesterday. It's like, man, I was talking to some brothers, like, I'm just gonna do a t-shirt. What you gonna do? I said, I just wanna do a t-shirt, and I'm probably gonna give them out. That was my first thought. Did the t-shirt, came up with the concept, came up with them.
Was that the mixtape joint?
Nah, that was the first one was the one Uma. So that's that.
Okay, I remember
One
that.
community, that's that. Why you think I'm from, you know, certain people I hang with, these are my brothers, because even though I ain't from the same town, we've been friends for 30 years,
Right.
40 years now, you know. So there was the one Uma, and that was my whole idea, was that I can come across to the city and blend in, right?
Right.
I can blend in the Ville. I can blend in DC. I can blend in Philly. I got family everywhere. When I say family, extended family, not blood
Right.
family. So that was the one Uma, the concept of we want community. It don't matter. We got similar backgrounds. We got similar circumstances to
Right.
put us where we at. So I don't do
So
them.
basically like culture.
We can say culture,
Something like
experiences,
that. Yeah.
culture. I don't get into that. Oh, you from that side?
Yeah,
You're a man
yeah.
of respect. We respect each other. Sometimes friendships, sometimes bonds built, or sometimes it's just respect, and we
Right.
give each other our space. So that 2011, no responsibility as far as sports. I'm gonna do the shirt, one Uma shirt. You gotta sell it. So sold them like it was like 2 days. Like them joints went. So my boys like, yo, you got something like yeah, this is something so now I'm getting my creative juices flowing. Did something, flipped it, did something else, same shirt but different colors.
Right.
But it's like, well, what's the name? You know, then I kind of did it backwards from what I advise people to do now. Now advise you come up with the name, the concept, the company name thing. I just do the design out there, then I had to backtrack quick in a week. So I was like a week, I'm calling people down DC, people here locally, like, yo, did this shirt, kind of caught fire. I got to come up with a name because I don't want the name to be one on one. That was just my mindset.
Right.
It wasn't and it wasn't original to me. You know,
Right.
I didn't think it was original as far as my name. I wanted to. Now I'm starting to see the future. So within a week, I'm like, what represents me? So the concept. Now we get into the name of Pure Blend. So pure mean what? To y'all, I'm asking, clean, original,
One of a kind.
one of a kind, untouched.
Right.
Blend mean what?
You can go anywhere.
Mix.
Yeah, you can go anywhere,
All right.
any color, any
Yeah.
creed.
So I'm saying pure blend. I'm saying nobody's perfect. Everybody's a mix, but you are the perfect mix. You are who you are. You are I am who I am. So it's a
Right.
perfect mix. Whatever you know, all our experiences and things make us who we are.
Right.
I can't be you. Can't be you. I can't be my brother, my blood brother.
Right.
We sleep foot to head in the bed. I still can't be him. He can't be me. But I am who I'm. He's the perfect him. I'm the perfect me.
Right.
You're the perfect you. So that's the pure blend. So that's how I came up with the name
Right.
and what it represents. And I just kind of now just from there, just my passion. I already did it. You know, before that, somebody come to my house. I got a walk-in. I got the same thing I'm doing, but now I'm just creating my own.
Right.
Before I was spending with somebody else,
Right.
which I still do, but now I can create the things that I want, how I want them to look. You know, my little
You
special
have
thing.
100% rights over your thing, or you're with somebody,
No, I'm just
like
me.
a quiet partner.
No, it's me.
This is
This is
okay.
me. This is me.
That's great, because a lot of people start out with a quiet,
Silent part.
yeah, but then it gets ugly later.
Yeah.
Yo, how would you rate your impact of Pure Blend in the area? Well, I mean, I seen you in pictures, you know, out of town with athletes and, you know, of that sort, representing your brand. So, How you feel as though the impact of your brand is?
Well, I think, I'm not really on it like, I did this, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not really on it like that. So as far as I know quietly, I know I've had conversations with people and I've seen them do things. But that's between men or between men, female. But as far as the impact, that's for the people to say. That ain't for me to say, stand up on here like I did this, I'm better than this one. Like, that's for the people. That's a question.
It's better for the people to say.
They gonna
Oh,
tell you
brother,
what it is.
I can respect that.
It was this one situation. I think I told you. I'm down Virginia, middle of nowhere, at a gas station. So I'm putting the gas in, so all these dudes rolled up in these nice cars. Because they seen the Jersey joint. They said, yo, William Burch? I'm like, nah. Because I never knew your name. All I know was Pure Blend or BJ.
Right.
Like, nah, he got the big black beard. When they said the school you went to, I'm like, yeah, that's BJ. But they didn't know that. And I'm like, dang, he got love all the way down here.
That's what's up.
But that's the name. That's what I'm saying. It represents me, but Pure Blend represents y'all as well. It represents everybody. But that's the thing where you don't know where I'm from. It ain't like I am who I am. My name is gonna be what it is, and I'm gonna and when I'm talking about educating young guys and saying you can go somewhere else and spread your wing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can go somewhere and I'm gonna be who I am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come to the city and be who I was in Pleasantville.
Right.
I'm gonna go down to DC and be who I was in Jersey.
Right.
It's gonna be me, as a man, they gonna see it.
Yeah, because a lot of people do change when they leave and trying to come back while they didn't messed up everything. But I understand what you're saying. What was like? How did you start off by choosing the different fabrics and what you actually wanted, and how did you go about trying to get what your idea was about?
Well, it's trial and error. You know what I mean? It's trial and error, and it takes money to make money. So so you gotta do your research. You gotta do your research, whether it's calling somebody, whether it's traveling somewhere, whether it's using that computer, whether it's using that phone, and then again get back to a lot of stuff. I'm gonna get back to is my foundation, sports education.
Right.
And those things go hand in hand. And it's a microcosm of life, but it's about just educating myself. I don't know something, which I'll never say I know everything. So I'll call somebody up. What you think? What's this about? Somebody that I'm have a personal relationship with, or somebody just I'm gonna get some information from. So as far as the fabrics is, again I go back. I was already wearing a lot of clothes or brands and going to New York shopping or going to different places. That as a young boy, like that was already my thing. Or our thing, fashion anyway. So it's not, if it's something that you love to do.
It's like, I gotta have my own. I like all this, but I gotta have my own.
Now when I was like, I think the era we came up in, that era where the clothes kind of, if you do the history of clothes, if you do the history of clothes, the 70s wasn't, they dressed they dressed a little different way. Even the early 80s.
Kind of made the clothes.
So the way we dress from the 80s on is kind of similar, so my thing was coming up, like, how I always tell the young boys, like, Jordan come outside, everybody stand in line to get the same Jordans. Man, we can't wear the same sneakers.
Right.
Like, you gotta go in the store. Once I pick up the blue, he gotta go pick up the green. Like,
right.
And then mine gotta get dogged out before he can go get that.
Right.
And then sneakers gonna be in there. Cause you go in there for, it wasn't just we wasn't following like, we gotta get that Jordan. Back then the Jordan would be there 3-4 months later, same Jordan. Because we was getting the Barclays, we was getting all these other sneakers, the pumps and things like that. So even then, this is a funny thing. Like again, I got a couple boys that was my sneaker guys. So what we used to do, I might just come up with some sneakers, and then you like, where you get them? You ain't want to really tell nobody where you got them from. You know what I mean? So, and I remember, catching the bus over here, going to Avenue, go up to Ocean One. I remember the first time I was young, went up Caesar, got a pair of Gucci's. And I saved some money up, like I gotta have them, you know. And just came in, nobody knew it until I wore them to school. But that was what we was on, you know. And
Oh shoot! Oh yeah, you got that off.
yeah, like going up there, I was scared. I was young. I didn't even know how to. I don't know what it was. Probably size 11. But 41, like what's a 41? Because it's European sizes.
Yeah.
But these are things you learn now.
Yeah.
And you don't learn anything until you do it.
Right.
You can read it. That's memorizing, right? You read something, you memorize it. Memorizing, you know, that's
To actually do it.
To actually do it. Now I know European sizes as a young because I was able to have that experience, you know. So as far as that, and always been interested in why Polo gonna have the cargos like this, and then the next year they gonna change them, or why if you look at clothes, they just make different changes, or the different fitting, and why they don't bring it back. Some stuff we just like, and but the big brands they'll just change the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Or like you said, bring something out, then you won't see
see
it
it no more. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I always been on like, why ain't like I want that? Like that's cool. I'll wear that for the next 20 years. So, so it's just about educating yourself in experience.
Right. What's your outtake on cutting the fabric? Meaning, you have this, but you want to slim cut this to keep up with the Joneses, or do you do that?
Well, sizing. So now you're getting into sizing.
No, not the sizing.
But it's part of the sizing.
It's the shaving.
So
You
go back.
understand what I'm saying? Like
you talking about like a slim fit.
Slim fit, because you start with boot cut, then the slim fit, and then it's skinny.
So let's go back. Let's go back to the 80s. Everybody had it was slimmer. It was slimmer.
6 inches. Remember that?
So if you really remember, I guess it was like Carl Canine and them dudes. They kind of cross colors. They changed the whole silhouette. It's called a silhouette.
Right.
They changed the whole silhouette when them joints went oversized.
Yeah.
They went oversized. So me personally, I ain't really that real skinny, tight, showing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as you get older, or you get into different cuts. You know, it used to be European cut. They used to call it European cut.
That's what it was.
European cut. So now as you get older, I'm kind of in the middle. You know, so with my suit, my sweatsuits and things like that, it ain't real oversized, but it ain't real tight.
Right.
So I'm kind of find myself now. I'm pure. I'm kind of fitting in the middle. Fitting in the middle. So it kind of could be a young boy could wear it, or somebody older won't feel uncomfortable. They won't feel uncomfortable with it. Right.
Do you remember, and I think it was, I forgot the year, but the first time I bought something from you was the orange hoodie.
Okay.
Me and 5D met you out Pleasantville at Wawa. And I said to you, why you don't just open up a shop? Yo, what he told me, I'm paraphrasing. He said, why should I open up a shop? I could make more money in my car.
Right.
Because he broke it down with why give somebody rent money and that same money.
90. The reason I'm gonna say it wasn't the money. The money wasn't the best. It was the build. There's always look at the foundation. I said it a few times, foundation. So I remember like 85, 86, sitting next to a tape player and just stopping. Rewind, write the lyric down, stop, rewind, write the lyric down, stop. So I remember, so again as a kid, Dr. J is my favorite because I was a kid, I was mesmerized. Like, LeBron, or they great and probably better, and they are better players, but it ain't gonna make me go crazy.
Right.
You know, but Dr. J did, but you know, Rakim made me go crazy. Me memorizing Road to the Riches, I could recite that now, that made me go crazy at that time. But now the second one is with that probably that when I was in college, that Biggie, Nas, Wu-Tang,
that's when the money really started
with
coming
Jay-Z.
in.
Then I was a different. Now I'm in late teen, going into my early 20s. You know what I mean? I'm in a different zone.
Right.
But that sitting next to that tape player came in the door. You know, that's to me. You know, that means the most to me. That KRS-One, like that's still probably my favorite rapper all the time.
That was a good era right there, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I know.
They call that the golden
the
era.
golden age.
basically.
85 to 90, I'm gonna say that.
Okay. That's so.
Alright, what about tape cassettes or CDs? At that time.
I'm gonna go with the tapes, because the CDs, you move, that joint gonna jump.
Yeah.
I go with the
It'll
tapes.
get damaged
I
quick.
go with them tapes. Cause you
Yeah.
can fix that tape. We can tape that back together. Put that, roll it back up.
Plus-
that CD is done.
Plus tapes was easier to dub. Like,
dub.
yo, dub this for me real
Dub
quick,
the
bro.
tapes.
Wasn't dubbing those CDs when they
Yeah.
first
You
came out.
riding somebody's car, they might be easy to swipe too. Like, we know
Yeah.
that.
I've done that plenty of
I've
times.
done that plenty of times.
Oh
I'll bring
man.
it back though. Once
Alright,
I
what
dub it.
about damn, what about I'm trying to get away from the book real quick. To ask most of them. Like who are you really supporting right now as far as sports? Is it just Pleasantville or is it any?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
No, I'm talking about as far as like uniforms and
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
like
not. When you say support, like I do some things with the right now because there's some people that I say came up under me. They're a little younger than me. That's
Yeah.
running the Joker, so they lean on me for some things. So I do some things. And not saying that I'm supporting them, but I do things for.
No, I'm talking about as far as like putting your brand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't at this point. At this point, you know, things I do, I don't really need to put the
Yeah.
logo on it. Like it's cool. Like, cause I'm not doing it for that. You know,
Right.
I'm not doing it for that. Again, like probably my foundation. Again, a lot of people, the Joker organization, they doing a great job, and I'm not giving them anything, but I do things for them.
Right.
But I don't really necessarily need to put my logo on everything that I do.
Right. So if a football team would have contacted you, not any specific team, just any team would have contacted you, they wanted to do business with you, how would you feel about that as far as your brand? Because you know they're gonna cut you a check.
I mean, I've done different football teams.
Okay.
Actually, I did some stuff for Egg Harbor Township, but again,
No, I'm talking about like big, like NFL stuff like that.
I mean, I wish they
Would
would.
you?
I wish they would. I wish
Yeah.
they would. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, but you know, I'm not on that. You know what I mean? Not,
Are you waiting for, or would you go out there and try to push your thing on them?
I'm not really an all-around sports brand, so that would be it would be something. It'd be in addition to. You know what I mean? So I'm not really waiting on the sport. That's not what I'm more like a ready to wear,
Right.
chill, relax. You know what I mean? Casual thing. I'm not a sports brand, so I don't know if I would be in that lane for them to come to me.
Okay.
But if something came across my desk and it could be money to be made,
Yeah.
it would push my brand out. Yeah, I'm gonna take every opportunity if it's right.
Right.
What about creating a sneaker?
That's something because I'm a sneaker guy. I look at it, you know, I ain't no sneaker head, but I'm a sneaker guy.
Yeah.
That's something that's, you know, it's things on the back burner, like
Right.
that's the 5 years, 10 years, things like that. But
I think once that happens, it's gonna go crazy.
man, I think that's an intricate thing. It's a hard.
Because
it ain't
believe it or
easy.
not, behind your back, a lot of people talk about different ideas without even saying nothing to you. Like me and my cousin Basil, we
Right.
always talk.
I just think
Like,
about
what
it
if
yesterday.
what if he come out with a sneaker? He said, "Man, I don't care what it is, I'm getting it."
Absolutely, that's my man. I just seen Vibes last night.
Yeah.
So
You ever think about casual line, like
yeah,
I
absolutely.
was just thinking
like
about
blazers? And,
Absolutely. I mean, I ain't no like I'm a laid back dude.
Yeah.
you know,
Would
but
it
I-
be something that you would wear?
If anything I make, I gotta wear it. So it would be something I would wear.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna be the prototype. Like I'm gonna say
Because
this.
some people might do things just because this is what's happening,
Everything I
but is
everything
it actually what you would wear?
I wouldn't make anything I wouldn't wear.
Got you.
You know, and in the fall, I ain't say step up, but I changed it up a little bit. Like I did the rugbies, so that's
Yeah.
different from a
Yeah.
sweatsuit, and that's something that's polo rugbies, fat farm rugbies, hill figure rugby. We did rugbies over there, so I put my spin on that. So that's more of a casual. That's more casual. It ain't dressy to the to a blazer. But anything I make, it would be something I would wear or how I would want it to sit. Like I would be. I'm not just doing it to make $1 because then money's great, but all money ain't good money. Like I'm not gonna put my all.
I never understood that saying.
All money ain't good money.
All money
because
ain't
you can
good money.
You can basically example. Say I'll be like, yo, Ma, he go $10,000, but then I come back a year later like, yo, I need you to kill somebody for me or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All money is not good money.
And I mean, you can go. That's a drastic situation. But it's just like I deal with people. Some people I've dealt with on the phone, through the social media, meeting somewhere, and of all persuasions, races, things like that, different situations. And I told her it was a lady. I told her it was this summer. So we were doing something, and she would start talking about somebody else she used to deal with, or whatever the business we was doing. We was doing business. I said that young man's business ain't nothing to do with me.
Right.
And I told her, I said, listen, my name is worth more than the money I'm about to make from you. So some people will do something to make $1 or $1,000, and the deal was I ain't saying high thousands, but it was more than $100. It was more than $500. But I said my name's still worth more than that.
Right.
So I'm not going. So we can cut to the chase, and before we do this deal, you can ask somebody about me or ask 10 people about me. But my name is worth more than that. So while I'm gonna hit you in the head, and now my name's done. No more. It was a team too that I don't need to speak on, but now I ain't getting no team because now this team know all the teams in the area.
Right.
So all money ain't good money, and then what you do for the money, sometimes like you said, it's gonna come. You gotta pay that price.
Yeah.
So again, that's when I say that all money ain't good money. But as far as doing something, just because if I'm not gonna push something just to make $1, I'm not gonna push it.
Right.
I'm not gonna wear it. I'm not gonna like it, and I'm not gonna have the energy to hustle it.
Right.
Or to grind it, or to promote it. Because if I don't like it, like I just did that, it's been things that I really, I might have missed on that. Because I control everything, I can just put it to the back burner.
But what you miss on it, you probably thinking like something negative could have came out of it.
No, I'm just saying something I thought was going to come out a certain way.
Yeah.
And it didn't, in my mind it was something, but when I got it or wore it, it didn't wear like I wanted to wear it. It didn't hit, the color didn't hit, something like that.
Some of your popular, just say like that sweater right there, you bought it out and it became like one of your best sellers. Would you say you had things like that already? Would you bring them back out if people requested?
Yeah, absolutely. There's certain things I try to bring, I will bring back,
Okay.
and you're dealing with your customer base, so I still ain't gonna try to lose no money. That's I'm not trying to be sitting on no product. So if it's something that the masses, I know I can get another flip out of it, I'll bring it back. But another thing that I do, I build on different things. Like that's the way my mind. You start with one, you get two. So I might build a shirt. It might be a piece of another shirt.
Okay.
And I might just add I might have did something like this, but now I added 11 to it.
Right.
So now it's a conversation. What's 11? That's the year I started, 2011.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I build off of things too. It might be something like I did a bomber jacket last year. And we came up there. I was young, and I was telling somebody when I was coming up, when the bombers was out, remember the year, like my brother and my sister had the bombers. I couldn't get the bomber. I was too young. Most of that stuff was in adult size. I was the youngest. But I started with I think I got the sheepskin.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the sheepskin, I got the goose, but I never got the bomber. So by the time, things went out of style. So I wanted the bomber jacket. So I kind of combined I made it like a goose, but with the bomber hood. That's building, because the bombers wasn't goose down in the beginning. They was just smooth jackets. So I made the goose with the bomber. So I build on things too. So a lot of my pieces, you wouldn't know it. From the naked eye, you wouldn't know it, but I know I built it like. I did a sweatsuit, maybe last year, it was 2 sweatsuits. It was a sweatsuit, but I made it look like a rugby. So if so I made it look like the rugby with the little sleeves, with a little different color. And this year I made the rugby.
Okay.
Because now the rugby material, that's a whole different material than cotton, you know. So I build off things. If I don't bring it back, I might build on it
Right,
to make
right.
something else. But I do. There's certain things that I'm like, I want that again. You know what I mean? So I will bring things back, but maybe a different color.
Right.
You know, because I ain't trying to lose. Because it's most of my customer base. Like I got the blue one. Like, well, I'm gonna make the new one just to sell one. You know, I need to sell.
I like that female joint you got, the real long joint with the pocket.
Oh yeah, my wife.
You seen that one?
My wife got one.
Yeah.
So and, you know, and that's talking to customers. You know, just being out, talking to people, you know, and like, oh, why don't you do this? And kind of then I put my thing on, you know.
I'll let you with something from left field. You ever thought about lingerie?
Nah.
That just puts you in a whole different category.
I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna stay right here. I stay right here.
Nah, because I was just thinking about Baby Boy. When he went to the barbershop and the hair salon.
But it got him jammed up too. So whole money ain't good money, right?
There you go.
He went home and messed him up at home, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you know what it means. You just gotta put it into practice.
Yeah, yo. Man. I just can't wait till you get them sneaks, man.
Sneaks. I got a couple of ideas but the things that, and to get me to sneaks, like, it's a process, right?
Yeah.
Let's say like the balls, right? The Lonzo Ball, the dad, like, where them joints at? They millionaires, right? His two sons is millionaires. I know the father's a millionaire. Where them sneaks at? You don't see. Have you ever seen a sneak?
I mean, you seen a couple celebrities with
Yeah. So have you? I mean, on the streets, we haven't even seen. Have you seen?
Nah. They
They ain't make Foot Locker. They ain't make nothing.
Right.
So you can't. That's you jump in there. It's a whole process with making that sneak and making a good sneak. Again, I ain't just making something. I mean, just to be honest with you, man. Like, if I said we made it. Listen, I'm gonna have a sneak by January 1st. I can have a sneak by January 1st.
Right.
But is it gonna be a good
ain't nothing I'm gonna wear.
Right.
So I'm not gonna wear it just to say I got it. I'm not gonna do anything just to say I did it.
Right.
I'm gonna move off of my passion. Like if it's organic, if my passion for it, I'll do it.
Right.
But again, I can have a sneak in a month, but it's gonna be some. I'm not wearing it.
Right.
So if it can't be up to my standards, nah, I can't do it.
Dang. I'm still on wait.
We get there.
Have you been in? I ain't gonna say have you been. Would you participate in like a real high class fashion show?
That's funny. I'm actually gonna be in the next one in Atlantic City. Got a good one.
Atlantic City Fashion Week.
Fashion Week. They've been running for like 10, 12 years.
Yeah, but they don't promote.
They don't promote
here.
They don't promote
for
here.
the locals to be able to go.
But it be a lot of
change
local
that.
people in there.
I'm about to change that. So
every year I see somebody from the area
it's a
Yeah, but
process.
it's not promoted
for us.
geared for us.
So you
to
going
be
this
able to
year?
go up
You going
there.
this year?
Huh?
You going this year?
I want to.
You gonna go? I'll make sure you get a ticket. You gonna pay
Yeah,
for
I
a
want
ticket?
to,
But I'm make
because-
sure I'm gonna hand deliver your ticket.
Right, because
And you gonna
it's
have
like,
it's gonna be a surprise.
Shit, I'll go.
cause like you
Especially
said,
if you gonna be
like
in the
you said,
show,
you gotta
come
like
support you, bro.
learn and find out
Nah, I'm gonna make sure.
different things and stuff like that.
I think with that, you know, it's a lot of, you know, we in a decent spot where we here in Atlantic City, this area South Jersey, but Philly 45 minutes away.
Right.
New York 2 hours away. So some things, I'm not saying it's right, but some things I missed the fact. I've seen the fashion show. I'm like, man, well, I ain't in that joint.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now you gotta get to it. So I'm not gonna get left behind. You know what I mean? So that
Cause
we all
like
gonna
the
go.
magazine I was doing, the reason why I slowed down was because old head told me, I talk to all the time, he says, you gotta have a team. And I was at I was in the area of not being able to trust And sometimes you gotta throw it in there and trust the person until something happens.
So is it trust? My fault.
And it's like, he said you gotta build a team, have partners and stuff like that. I understood that, but I still didn't listen to it. And that's why I was working on it for 6 years and nothing still happened. It's like, he said you have to build a team. You gotta get everybody in a certain position. I can't take all the positions myself.
No, you can't do it by yourself. So there's a few things to that. So you say you don't trust them. Do you don't trust them because of past experience, or you just don't know if they can do the job?
Well, the people that came to me, I think is more, I don't think they know how to do the job, because I'm always asked the questions instead of them saying, all right, I just found this out, let's focus on this and master this, let's master this. And nobody wasn't doing that.
So,
but I kind of fell back because I think everybody was just waiting for me to be up here to be able to come through. And I was like, yo, we gotta do everything for free first. Throw it out there, do the pictures, do the photography, do everything.
Sound like
nobody wanted to do it.
You picked the wrong team. You gotta pick a new team.
I think that's what it was.
So you gotta look at your resources. So you might have picked the wrong team. Maybe a couple of them, maybe you gotta lead them as a good leader. You gotta put somebody in position. As a good coach, you gotta put them in position of something that they do well. Or if you see somebody not in your, sometimes you gotta go outside your circle too.
Right.
So your circle might be cool for hanging out, chilling, watching the game, doing like the partying. But somebody that's not in your circle, but if you say, yo, he take good photography, he look like he's a upstanding dude, you know, talk to them. Sometimes you gotta talk to people out. You got, like the old head say, you gotta build your team. Yeah. This is because I got a lot of friends that's doing businesses. I support them, they support me. Right. But my passion ain't.
Keep building this brand. Yeah. And what do you say to people that's just starting out and want to do what you're doing, but their mind is on a storefront?
Well, it depends on your hustle. It depends how you hustle.
Right.
Because everybody can hustle, but some people's hustle is different.
Right.
So for me, I'd rather be more mobile amongst. At that time, I was mobile amongst the people.
Right.
And then, but
that was hands-on.
I was hands-on. I'm building a brand also. I'm building relationships also.
Right.
So now I'm going and you ask some questions. Well, why it ain't bagging? Or why you sitting in the store? That's fine. So now if somebody's time, if you had the time to do that, to work it yourself, small business. It's about margins. It's about the.
So what I'm basically getting out of it is more wasting time being in the store.
Nah, I'm not saying that.
No, that's what I'm getting out of it, because, like you just said, sitting in the store, other people can be getting things, but you're in the store and they're not able to come to you.
No, I'm not saying that completely. What I'm at that time, to build a brand, it wasn't fruitful for me to get a store,
right?
Because the overhead, or if I'm not gonna work it, then I gotta pay somebody. I gotta pay electric bill. I gotta pay this. I gotta pay that.
Taxes,
all the extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? A store can be great, and one day I might get a store. You know, but my thing is I'm trying to build. I still touch the people, but my thing I'm trying to build my online presence. Because I'd rather drop off at the post office all the packages at one time. Eventually, I'm not saying I would never get a store, but some people it works for them because they might want to be stationary. But what I might be missing out, I'm not saying my way is perfect either, because I might be missing out on somebody from out of town.
That's what I was trying to say.
So I'm gonna miss out from out of town money. That's why I'm trying to build on my online presence. Well, they ain't gotta come here.
Right.
I can ship it. I just shipped something to a brother today from Virginia.
Okay. What's the furthest you ship?
I mean Cali. I mean nothing out of the country. Nothing out of the country. Probably Cali. A few different places.
Yeah.
Northern Cali, Southern Cali. So that's the farthest from here. Pretty much every major state.
Any celebrities deal with your brand?
I mean, you know, celebrities over the years I've had, so, you know, celebrities, different things. I mean, the first celebrity was, a lot of athletes,
Yeah.
and that's from relationships too. But the
Right.
first athlete probably was Deshaun Jackson when he was with the Eagles.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson, Shady McCoy,
I remember you Shady. I remember
Shady,
seeing that picture.
down DC. It was the dude, Lance Gross. I think he's acting like them Tyler Perry joints.
Right.
The other one, it was he was a security guard in one of them Tyler Perry movies.
Right.
Well, a couple dudes like that. Recently, Sixers, Tyrese Maxey. I think John Wall had a shirt. I'm not saying they bought for me exclusively,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
had a
but
shirt.
they
John
had
Wall, I think the other, he was a center at the time with John Wall when they first got to the Wizards, the Bullets, whatever. Arthur Blanche, he was a center, him and John Wall. So these are ones I remember offhand.
Right.
Real quick, I know you're a sports fan. Who's some of your sports idols like when you was growing up?
That's easy. That's easy. So probably my number one idol all time. I don't even get into LeBron, the Jordan conversation, because when you're a kid, like Dr. J's still the best of me. Like, I can't even have that honest conversation because I'm gonna be biased. Like once you that age, nobody can really change that. That's my number one idol. So Dr. J, just his whole persona. Like he's the smoothest, coolest, flyest athlete for all time. You know what I mean? As far as
was it the Sixers or was it with the?
The Sixers. It was the Sixers.
It wasn't before then. The ABL.
I ain't that old.
Yeah.
I ain't that old. I think he came to Sixers in like '76.
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't that old. I ain't gonna front like I'm that old. But it was the Sixers. Dr. J.
Yeah.
Probably my football would be Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett. Like everybody wanted that number 33 growing up. The helmet, the little drop cage. Everybody wanted that. That's professional. But then I had local. I'm not gonna call them idols because I'm not idol, but local people I looked up to.
Yeah,
because that's my foundation. So it's been sports. So I can name people.
Who's
Name
local
figures.
guys?
So local coming from Pleasantville. I'm doing my years. So it was kind of you got JV, Pee Wee, and Pee Wee, JV, and varsity, right? So when I was on Pee Wee, really getting my start my run. That was one of my guys, one of my best friends, Joe Beard.
Okay.
So somebody around 2 years older than me, 2 to 3 years older than me, they gonna know Joe Beard. So I'm looking at Joe Beard, he on JV, I'm on Pee Wee, so I'm trying to do what Joe doing. You know what I mean? And we wound up catching each other in high school and was teammates for 2 years.
Okay.
But that was like somebody I looked up to and I thought like, man, I want to be that good.
Yeah,
That's how
nice.
it was nice. But then even over top of Joe, it was like I was on Pee Wee. And I'm gonna say I was the man on Pee Wee, and I'm not gonna be humble on that. I was the man on Pee Wee. But I had some dudes around me too. I had a mob around me. So then Joe was the man on JV with some good guys around him. And then on varsity was Popcorn. So if anybody a sports fan, a football fan at that time, that was it. Like so I'm looking at them dudes like,
Yeah, Corn my age. Corn's nice.
So just looking, Joe 2 years older than me, then Corn probably another 2 years. So Corn like 4 years. I'm looking like, man, he like a monster. Never, not knowing I'm gonna get there. So I say like those are the dudes I looked up to as far as sports, immediate, like on the Joker's football, local football. And I can name plenty of. I mean, BL Brian Little like he was. I followed him from the Dolphins to Holy Spirit, guys like that. But as far as I like somebody really number one, probably Dr. J and Tony Dorsett. That's my number 1 and 2 all time.
All right, I want to go back to the brand. What are some of the tips you can give the younger generation on to follow before everything actually happens?
So, number 1, make sure you really want to do this.
Right.
Because with anything, any grind, any hustle is going to be ups and downs.
Right.
So make sure you really want to do it. Make sure you have a passion. And if you have a passion for it, what part of it is the passion? Is it the selling? Is it the creating? Is it the drawing? Is it the computer thing? You got to find your lane within that. You know, that's number one. Then number two is going to be that just continue educating yourself. Because it's YouTube channels, it's people that's doing it. You can ask questions. It's gonna be a trial and error thing. Because again, you're gonna get something and think it's hot or think it's the right material and it's not gonna work. But then you're not gonna get to that other thing, and you're not gonna get to it without that trial and error. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be perfect.
So basically, not being afraid to lose.
Now you can't
and
be
know
scared.
that you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Because I was told a lot of millionaires lost a lot before they gained a lot.
Oh, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they have. But that, you know, and then just,
Operating at a loss and all of that type stuff.
it's about, you know what I mean?
And I think that was the problem I had. Like, I didn't want to fail. And I'm like, damn, what can I do? And I just kept trying to put the fail part to the side.
But that's just like,
And the old head told me you can never win all the time.
Nah, you ain't gonna win. Nobody wins all the time. We gonna make it look good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna win all the time. But then let's go back to sports. How you gonna hit the shot if you don't take it?
Right.
And how many shots you gonna miss?
Right.
In baseball, they hit 250. So that's one time out of every 4 they hit the ball, and that's a success.
Right.
So that's why I say, like, you might be like, well, these people talking about sports, but this is life.
Right.
That's life. You know what I mean? The 3-pointer, you shoot 40-45%. You a great 3-point shooter. So how many shots you missing?
Right.
You know, it's 4 out of 6. I mean, 4 out of 10, really.
Yeah. So that you know, and that's real. Like again, I say, I'm my foundation sports. Like you gotta work. You gotta work. It ain't gonna be easy. And somebody,
That's not gonna be easy.
somebody gonna punch you in the face. What you gonna do? You know, you gotta keep on working. You gotta get back.
What are some of the things that really keep you going? Like, is it you on the websites or the webinars? What keeps you going, and what helps create the ideas in your mind?
Well, again, I'm gonna go back. That's all extra. That's learning. That's all. I love to do this. Like it ain't, you know, money.
We know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's what keeps me going. Like
Right.
what's gonna make me successful, what's gonna make things easier, that's gonna be the websites, that's gonna be the, you know, the podcasts and things like that. That's gonna make my work a little harder. I mean easier, but what makes me keep on going, get up the next day, you know, I wanna do this. I love this like I wanna do this. It's something that and as you see me, what I got my stuff on all the time.
Right.
So this is really, so at the end of the day, yeah, I want everybody to buy it. I want more people to buy it. I want people that used to buy it to keep on, come back and buy it.
Right.
But I'm gonna rock my stuff. Like,
You know what I always wanted to ask you? I always wanted to ask you, like, how people sign contracts for to wear their apparel. I always wanted to ask you that, but I didn't know how to come to you.
Sponsorships.
Yeah.
well,
And it's not like I want something for free. It's just that I wanted to be able to be that person that's promoting for you, that's coming around when you have different things going on. Not to actually be on the team, but just to promote you like crazy, because I sit back and what I see in you, I wanted to do.
Okay.
So I said, because I don't have a team doing it, because remember I was doing the magazine.
yeah, absolutely.
So me,
Absolutely. But then again, I'm like, I don't know if I would did it. It still was rough. I went to college and graduated. I don't know if I would have been in the mindset at that time to really go harder than I went. You know, so it got to take for the student also.
well, what do you have to say right now, like where your career is, and like how do you talk to the youth that you see that's falling into the wrong path or something like that? Like, what would you tell them? And is it on the same path you going now with the fashion, the clothes and stuff, or would you separate that to get their mind right instead of just saying you should do this type of work?
I'll
Do
never,
you separate it?
I never tell nobody what to do, because nobody could tell me what to do. So
Right.
only thing I can do is when I'm mentoring or advising, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
So that's my first question. Like, what do you like to? What do you do when nobody's looking? What do you think about when nobody's telling you to think? What do you read when nobody tell you to read? What YouTubes or things that you watch or you have an interest? We have interests.
Right.
But no, when we was young, you go around the room, what you want to be? Lawyer, doctor. We said it, why? Because we thought that's what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went back, I said, what did I do? My hobby was drawing. And I drew in clothes. But nobody told me at that, I could have started this 20 years ago, but nobody told me that you can start your own brand.
Right.
So I asked kids, what do you like to do? So they tell me that, like, someone like to play video games. You know that's a job. You can develop video. So first you find that passion, and then see can that turn into a job or a career or a business.
Right.
So that's my first thing. I don't tell nobody what to do because, again, they might not like to do it. So are they really going to do it?
Yeah.
Or are they going to be wasting time?
That's true. Got anything else for me?
Is there anything you want to add to your business?
You know what I'm saying? Eventually, expanding products. Like we touched on some things. Eventually, when time is right, the time is right. In my personal life, getting a boutique type store. Like my thing is I'm not really like need this big store just because I say I got a store.
Right.
But eventually, I got ideas. I'm not gonna share the ideas for the
Yeah,
store,
yeah, I understand.
but I would like a boutique flagship store. So when you go to certain places, you'll buy something and I remember going to New York in the 90s, I wanted to go to that Fat Farm store in Soho.
Flagship joint.
Like the flagship joint, or the flagship polo store,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, in the village. Like these are the store, you want to go in that real store.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember going in like in the 90s, they still going Madness in DC. Like I went into the real store, the real Madness store on Georgia Avenue. So like these stores, like you have a flagship store, I just think that's important. So that's eventually I would want to get it. So want to get a store and expand into my offerings. You know what I mean? The different things I never made.
Have you made relationships with people that have their own brands? And how is that going?
I mean, we no like relationship, like working with them or anything.
No. As far as like how you doing or having a cup of coffee or something with them, like y'all not so many different people. Like, do you build relationships with people that already have their own brand?
What, locally or outside of here?
Anywhere.
I mean, of course, locally, because this is where most time spent. So customers have developed into business owners, or people that have brands. I've chopped it up, but as far as like I don't go get coffee. Like, that ain't what I do. So I mean, within what I do, you know what I mean, whether it's at a game, chopping it up, at an event, chopping it up. Like I've been to different events, did a local fashion show some years ago. So yeah, I'll chop it up with somebody. I ain't. But again,
now the reason why I ask you that is because sometimes, not you, I'm not pointing at you, a lot of people get big and like big headed, like, oh, I'm doing this. Everything got to revolve around me. And I already know you don't roll like that.
So my thing is it's the time we in. A lot of time it might be a DM. It ain't no call. That's what I'm saying. I'm joking. I don't go get called, but it be DM. How I do this?
Yeah.
Like, yo, you can call me, or let me send it to your email, or I'll text them something. So yeah, I do those things, but it's organic. It's just that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can give it, but I'm not gonna work for you though. I'm not gonna work for you. I'm gonna give you some direction because what happens is it's like you got the magazine, then somebody else want the magazine, then they start taking all your time. What's gonna happen to your magazine?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what people gotta draw the lines. Like you can ask questions and things like that. And I'm gonna give you information, but I'm not gonna do your thing because your logo, your thing, you take away from my energy, and I don't have no patch. So my idea is not gonna work for yours because that ain't what I see. I only see pure blend. When I wake up, I see pure blend. When I'm working out, I see pure blend. When I'm driving to work, I see Pure Blend. When I'm listening to music, I don't see your brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and people gotta understand that. So it happens. I mean, I had conversations. Sometimes it's DMs, sometimes it's phone conversations, sometimes it's text messages, things like that. Just sometimes we bump into each other, and yeah, I ain't got no problem doing that.
Has anybody ever contact you just to say they appreciate what you're doing, and how does that make you feel?
Yeah, somebody that I'm doing some work with right now.
Yeah.
Somebody I'm doing some work with right now. Somebody I know, and he approached me and showed me something, and he just showing like the appreciation, and I wanna help push you.
Yeah.
I wanna, like we was talking about earlier, I wanna help push you, and this is how I wanna help push you. Is this cool?
Right.
Like, yeah, that's cool, and we chop it up. Now we have a different type of relationship than we had prior to this.
Right.
We always had that mutual respect, but now we have a working relationship because of his appreciation. It's showing his appreciation. And it's kind of, because some people don't know, like they only know one side of you.
Right.
You ain't know William Burch.
Right.
You only knew BJ or Pure Blend.
Right.
But I'm still the same person, but I'm a pure. I've did other things. I've been other places.
Right.
It's just the space that you see me in. But in every space, I'm the same man.
Right.
Every space, you go somebody play ball me, he was like this. You go somebody do business with me, he was like this. You go somebody to party with me, it might be a little different, but he was simple. You know what I mean? I'm the same person.
Basically the same.
Same person.
Uh-huh. You got anything else to say?
You got any closing words, man? You know, for the locals, the Dallas Cowboy fans out here.
Just go ahead and jump out the window.
First to you brothers, I appreciate y'all having me on the show.
Appreciate you coming,
reaching out. And it was a cool conversation, so I like to set up, you know what I mean, we just kicking it. I don't even really know that the camera's on, you know what I mean? And as far as for everybody locally, like, you could be young or old, like, a couple of key things, like, know your foundation, continue to educate yourself. So, you know what I mean, so we out of here, we gotta educate ourselves in something. You know what I mean, that keeps sharp, you keep us sharp, because iron sharp on iron, we all sharp, we gotta be sharp. Whatever you have a passion for, it ain't gotta be what I'm doing, it ain't gotta be a podcast, or whatever you got a passion for, take a shot. Because you ain't gonna know if you're gonna make it unless you try to take it. But as far as the sports, the Eagles fans, 11-1, just wait on it. Just wait on it.
Just wait on it.
Just wait on it.
Christmas Eve's gonna
11-1, that's all I'm saying. Oh, man. But yeah, I appreciate you too, man.
Like, cool.
I've been like really behind the scenes cheering for you.
I appreciate that.
All the way back to when I first bought something. I actually still got it.
Yeah, that's what's
I
up.
still got the tape, joint, everything.
Right. But my thing is like, it's local. You know, I'm still a small brand, local. Yeah, I want to push out to, different places.
Right.
Because, it's your block. You only going to get so much money on your block. You got to expand your network to get more money. And I'm not saying get money because I'm greedy, but if you say you want me to make sneakers, I can't do it off of this block.
Yeah.
I can't make them sneakers off of this block. You know what I mean? Like, just look at, as far as like I did the bomber jackets, like if you look at small brands, like how many people was able to do that? So that took a push for me to do that. Like some of the things to expand your brand, it takes a push. It takes more.
The competition is crazy.
It's not even competition is crazy, yeah. But I'm saying, if you pushing for somebody, you see them doing something. Like everything that's done, like it takes some resources.
Yeah.
So support. Behind the back, I love behind the back support. When I'm not around, you saying something well about me, because it's gonna bring me another customer. But like, yes, we gotta support. Like your magazine, like if you came back, I gotta buy it, bro. I gotta buy it, and then I gotta send it to somebody. And I fought myself for not doing that. But now you come back out with something, I gotta grab them, and I just gotta send them.
Right.
I gotta send them out. That's how I'm gonna support you, because it gotta expand you.
Exactly.
So that's how everybody gotta do it. Like a lot of people, they might be like, I'm going here, I'm gonna get something extra because I'm gonna give it to somebody.
Right.
They've done those type of things. You know what I mean? So that's how we expand. Because at the end of the day, you say competition. It's only us. We're small. It's still a small area as far as us around here.
Right.
But we got to be able to expand to get them more money, not to be greedy, but to build. So if I come up and you come up, we can pull somebody up with us with the resources. So we can maybe fund. Then we get them young boys to maybe fund their dream, not wanting nothing in return. You know what I mean? Or be able to push them out there.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's
Anything else?
cool. Nah, man. Just appreciate you coming out.
That was cool. This was easy. It was nice. It was organic. I like to say it was organic. Ain't nothing forced and everything was cool.
I appreciate it.
I talk for days, man. I don't even really talk.